Even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gonna get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No fears, your heart's crying. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better.
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary, it's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against our seed. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices, it's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles, Harold Fleet don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms, dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never at their children's door. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get the head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just listen.
Even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting.
Welcome to another episode of A Mile in My Shoes, where we ask the question, how can we say we know someone if we've never heard their story? Y'all, I'm excited tonight, man. First, I'm going to say I want to thank everybody who reached out after the car accident. I am shaking back, still a little groggy, but the mission must go on. And I was not missing a night with one of my, how do I say it? I always tell y'all guys, I know a lot of people, but there's only a few that I consider my family. And this is one of my family members here, man. This is a mentor. This is somebody who taught me a lot about business. He taught me a lot about being a leader. He does amazing work in the community. If you from Lafayette, you definitely know who he is. He's given so many people opportunities, y'all. He's given so many people chances to shine their light, and he always stay in the background. But tonight, I want to shine the light on him and give him some appreciation and honor for all that he's done in the Lafayette and surrounding areas community. Without any further ado, y'all drop some hearts for my family. Mr. Spoken Red himself, man.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, where do we hold on. Before I even get there, people probably wondering why I'm excited, man. We got almost 20 years of history.
20 years, yes, sir. Yes,
20 years.
Yes, sir.
Of history, man.
History.
Hey, it's very hard to hear brothers who have been bonded doing community service and lifting up the people. 20 years, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
For the people who don't know you and that are just going to meet you for the night, give us a little background and story on who Corey J. Frank is, right?
We didn't put the entire government name out.
Corey, because I know we got a lot of people. Look, I live in Abbeville now. My wife watching, mom watching Pop. Well, you've been knowing my pops for the longest. So, give us a little bit about you.
So, of course, like he said, my name is Corey J. Frank. First and foremost, I want to thank God for you. That's number one. I want to thank God for him first. And I want to thank him for you. You know, this is truly a humbling experience for me. You know, I don't take it lightly, you know, as I mentioned to you before. So I got to give him honor and reference first, you know, and then thank you for having me on.
Appreciate it.
So in reference to myself, I'm a small town country boy, born and raised in Opelousas, Louisiana, Prairie Ronde, Louisiana, to be exact. Y'all may not know what that is. That's Plaisance. That's where the Zydeco capital of the world is. Born the third child out of four. I've always been the outgoing one out of the four kids. Always. I'm the family guy. I love people. That's just me. Always been that way. Growing up, I was involved in extracurricular activities heavily. I definitely want to give honor in reference to my 6th grade teacher, Miss Lavonia Thomas, who was the very first teacher to acknowledge the gift that I had with public speaking.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying, Corey, if you ever want to go anywhere in life, there's one body part that you must know how to use, and that's your mouth. The way you present yourself will determine how you run a room.
Yeah.
And that didn't ever leave off of me, you know, being preteen, teen, you know what I'm saying? Once she ignited that in me, it just stayed, you know, in me. And then as time went on, my other 2 teachers that I want to acknowledge definitely that instilled in me to be who I am today is Georgia Edwards and Rachel Semia Richard.
Yeah.
And with the 2 of them, Miss Edwards was my 2nd grade teacher. And she told me at the time, I was like, I want to be a baker. And you know, normally you in the 2nd grade, you say, I want to be a doctor, a football player, a nurse, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember her instilling in me saying, Corey, you can be whatever you want to be, you know, and that just resonated so deeply in my head because at that time she accepted me for me. Yeah. And then when it came to Miss Richard, she was the one who instilled in me how important the English language is and how important grammar is and just being able to present yourself the right way. Between her and my teacher, Lisa Thomas, I mean, growing up, it just having those solid teachers that were mentors, between those 4 women, they ignited in me once I got out of high school that I wanted to become that adult to be a mentor towards others.
Yeah.
So once that torch got in my hand, I said, I'm not ever letting it down. I'm going to continue passing it on, lighting other torches and keep it going. So
right.
So since then, just a brief, you know, summary, which I feel like I'm giving a lot.
Oh, no, we listen.
Yeah, so just, and then, so aside from that, you know, when I graduated high school, you know, it's like, it was a journey, you know, coming to Spoken Red, you know, and that's something, of course, we're going to, you know, talk about tonight, but Spoken Red, just in a summary, was a God-given vision, and I've been operating in just that. It's my brand, and this year in January made 16 years I've been operating a brand, and it's all about humanity. That's what it's all about. It's all about humanity. So
I'm about to pick you apart on how that came about. For those who don't know, give a little history about how we met, man.
So Brandon, Humble Joe.
Years, man.
I met Brandon back in fall 2006. He was a college student at the time. As I mentioned earlier, English has always been my thing. He was connected to another colleague of mine, and I decided to help him with his English papers. And
he was the plug on the papers.
making them grades, got them out, made it do what it do. And as time progressed, he got out, you know, he did his thing or whatnot, and we didn't lose contact. Within that time frame, Spoken Red began, which is my brand. It started. And then through there, he started what was called the Joe movement. And
it's Joe's, man.
And so the a lot of people just like Joe was most people was like Jow, you know, they kept saying Jow because the way it's spelled, J-O-W. Though we made an acronym out of it. And that's throwback. Real throwback, you know. And
justified outwardly with significance.
Bingo. And so at that time frame, the movement was just so massive, and it went from folks feeling, all right, well, Brandon is this rap artist, you know what I'm saying? He for you know, the streets, he connecting to us and this, that, and so forth. And you all know there's many that's gonna come in the picture, but there's a lot that's gonna fade out. When it's just like, I'm a photographer. When you go to develop film, you may see that picture one way, but when that picture fully develops, that's a whole different story that comes out of that picture.
Look, and so
exposure, that part
changes the picture. Yeah, man.
And so through that, you know, it ended up where Zeke came into the picture, which shout out to my boy. Zeke
shout out Big Zeke, man.
And so from there, you started with your Christian evolution, and within that made our friendship turn to brotherhood, to family bond. Yeah. And you've been a light. together, we've been carrying, torches together. And one of the key things that I value through all of that is you have taken what God has put in you and allow it to elevate you. And you see, elevation is very important. A lot of times people feel that you get all this endurance just to be level. No. Endurance equates elevation. Period. Endurance equates elevation. And what that means,
somebody drop that in the comments, man. Endurance equates elevation. That's crucial.
When you're dealing with endurance, you constantly feeling like the forces are coming against you. And you have to realize that no matter what's going, what's up, fam? That's my ball right there. That's fam all the way.
He will be here soon, man. He will be here soon.
Oh, that's the man. Josh is the man. And so when it comes to forces, hitting against each other, you have to be mindful that the pressure is not just being placed on you just to be placed on you. It's being placed on you to push you upward. Anything that you create is designed for it to move out, to move upward and outward. You don't just create stuff just to create stuff. You create it for it to develop impact and influence.
Yeah.
So within your movement and my movement, that's exactly what we've been doing. And
I remember back then, like you had the ability to have some of the rough talks with me. You was close enough to me to have some of the rough talks, because I had a lot of influence and a lot of people, but it was unpolished, and I really wasn't realizing the detriments of everybody's is looking at you. Look, my pops, man. Pops been rocking with us for the longest.
Come on, Pops.
Look, you helped me realize, like, you got a light, but you need to be really careful what you're doing with that light, because you got people watching you, and the moves you making can either uplift a lot of people or cause a lot of people to fall. And look, that was a hard pill to swallow from you, but I was like, looking at you as a mentor, knowing you've been doing and you was doing it for a longer time on a larger scale, I was like, nah, I gotta swallow that cup, man.
Yeah, you had to. And
you never left. You told the truth and you stayed there, man. So I want to get into this because I never got to hear the full story. How did Spoken Red even go from break Spoken Red down to us, because I've watched it. So I've seen it from the beginning. I've seen the kids, I've seen the lupus, I've seen the foundations, I've seen the youth, I've seen the modeling, I see how.
So this is a very touchy topic and it's very transparent. So I mean, just for you, I'm making it do what it do.
I want to know.
I've been just like you. I've been a spoken word artist for quite some time. Growing up, I always loved English. I was a poetry writer. At the time, writing was just my thing. I was blog writing, and I remember that was back years ago, 2006 to be exact. I had just finished writing a blog on Facebook, and it was, I was like, man, I need a stage name, and then I started in my head. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna be? And the first thing that came into my mind was I want two names, and so I was like, what I wanted, and I was like, oh, Outspoken Yellow. I was like, oh, that don't sound right. I'm like, that ain't come from Holy Spirit. That don't even match.
Yeah.
And then that's when he gave me Spoken Red. And so the spoken part represents being outspoken, having the ability to say what you want to say the first time, not the next time. And then red represents the culture. A lot of times people tend to eliminate the different, not necessarily race, but more so people's backgrounds. Everyone has a story. So the red represents, first off, in my opinion, the blood of Jesus, because that's the background of Spoken Red. So being outspoken, having that spiritual lifestyle, connected into one. So throughout that vision, let's go back. He gave me the name, got the name. And that same year, in that summer, I was hospitalized, not once, but twice.
I remember. Hey, you old Lord, man.
And so the first time was 11 days, and then the second time was 9 days. And during that process, and this is full of transparency, y'all. My parents, shout out to my entire family, mom, dad, sisters, brothers, whole fam.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, we grew up in the church. I grew up in the church. I was youth president my senior year. I would do liturgical dancing, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. And so I would give speeches the whole nine. Well, whenever I got out of high school, I started being mannish. I said, I don't want to do this no more. I've been doing this all this time. My parents, they pray for me, so I'm good. I'm going to do what I want to do. Started getting in the streets. Oh, wow, surprise. Yeah, viewers, yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
I wanted to party. I wanted to drink. I would just want to live. I didn't want to live vicariously. I wanted to do it, myself. I wanted to see what the whole rebel lifestyle was about. And rebel lifestyle caught up with me, literally. And so it ended up, I was in the hospital. I hadn't been praying, y'all. I hadn't been giving him his time. Wasn't going to church. Everything was just rebellion all the time, and it caught up with me. And I remember that second visit in the hospital, that was summer of 2007 to be exact. When I was in that hospital bed, it was only one position that I can stay in, and that was up. I couldn't sleep on my side. I couldn't sleep on my back. And y'all know how it is when you sleep. Most of us, we sleep on our side or we sleep on our stomach. They couldn't put me in no other position. I had to stay upward. And I remember it like it was just the other day. I was in the hospital. Dwayne Woods was on the TV, and he was singing this song, Let Go. And my mama was on the phone with my aunt, and they were praying, for my healing. You know what I'm saying? One of the things about me, I'm a domestic violence survivor. And so I dealt with a lot. A lot of times you don't hear the male side of, domestic violence, though I dealt with it. And so here it is, having parents that fully support you. My mom was in there, she was on the phone with my aunt praying. And I remember at that moment, that man was on the TV singing, and I gave my heart back to God again. Some people think that once you get delivered that one time, that's it. No. We backslide. We do. Yeah. I knew I grew up in the church. I knew the calling that was on my life. I knew all the times I was getting prophesied. The whole nine. Though I just want to, let me get into what's going on with the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, none of us are perfect, though we can strive for excellence. That's number one. God is perfect, period. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, perfect. The Trinity. We know the whole nine. Though when it comes to being yourself, one of the key things that you have to respect is you acknowledge the first stage of acceptance is denial. I tried denying who I was, and that could have put me in a pit that I didn't need to be in. He pulled me out of that pit, and when he pulled me out of that pit, and I gave my heart back to him in that hospital bed while that man was singing, my mom, my aunt, and my dad was praying, I felt his presence overtake me, and here it was. I had been in the hospital literally for 20 days total, 2 times. First time 11 days, second time 9 days. I had to learn my motor skills all over back again. It was during that time he reignited everything back in me to see, Corey, you are connected to me. No matter what force try to come at you, you are connected to me. Don't you ever run away from that. Don't you ever run away from that. Yeah. And it was at that given moment, he reintroduced that vision of spoken word to me. He allowed me to see, Corey, your purpose in life is for you to be a trailblazer amongst people. Your purpose in life is for you to pull people out of the darkness. You experience the darkness, now you're in the light. Are you going to continue being a light bearer, or are you going to try to turn back to those ways? Yeah. And we all have our moments. Like I say, we all have our moments.
If we keep it real.
Exactly. Though at that particular time, that was me rededicating my life to him. And I just thank him for it. Like I do. And I'm here today. 2023 and ongoing. So that's where the spoken word vision came from.
That's where the fire came from.
And since then, bro, like no lies, since then, he's the one who's been giving me these visions on what to do with my brand. A lot of people tend to get into this whole realm and they feel like you got to be something that you're not. Just be you, man. Just be you. Be you. Allow everything to just gravitate on its own. Don't be something that you're not.
So, what was the first actual project that you stepped forward? Because, like I said, I just named the bottom, and we not talking about. And like I said, we give glory to God, but I believe we've become so religious with that we forgot to just learn how to honor our brothers and sisters. Come on, man.
Come on.
And like I really want to slow down and take time to give honor to people where it's due, man. I love God with everything in me. Everybody know me, know. But what happened to us just saying, hey, great job, man. As a brother, I'm telling you, great job for the work that you put in and that you did. Like, we gotta go back to that system, man.
Yeah.
So what was the first, and we're gonna walk through them. What was the first project that you kicked off that started the
rotation
of event after project after group? What started it?
So my very first project was my calendar project. I've been doing my calendar project. Like I said, it's going on 16 years now. The very first one I did was shout out to women. I feel that women is often disrespected. And so the first calendar project that I did was Women of Integrity. That was the title of the project. And at the time, I didn't have all the bells and whistles. I didn't have the updated computer equipment, all that stuff. I literally did that project with a disposable camera. Literally. I met with the women in the calendar. I went to them. I took pictures of them. Because at the time, I had a professional camera. The camera broke on me. So I'm like, man, I'm going to use what I got, you know? And I straight up, I went and I got it was a disposable camera and I made it do. And from that project, I produced the calendar. We had a calendar release event. And I just decided to keep doing the calendar project year after year. And what the calendar project is designed, because the very first year I did it was Women of Integrity. The second year was Men of Character. And the third year was Best of Both Worlds. And then ever since that particular project, I kept deciding to keep both. And within that time frame, I brought in the kids, which was Spoken Red Juniors, which was my community outreach program for kids between the ages of 5 and 17. Now, with that community outreach, mainly that is just designed for the adult calendar models to serve as mentors to youth between the ages of 5 and 17 during the fall semester. It's not a nonprofit organization. It's a community outreach program.
Yeah.
Period.
Now, what's the difference of the two?
Between Spoken Red and Spoken Red Juniors? Spoken Red is considered a PR communications brand. It's designed for individuals that are in the arts and entertainment field that needs help constructing their business or their brand.
Gotcha.
Period. Gotcha. Like, a lot of people tend to come into the industry and they don't have a PR. Yeah. They don't have nobody to place them in line on how they need to approach different issues. When you see certain individuals come out and make these press release statements and reckless live and reckless status posts and everything, you got a huge following. Use it accordingly. Stop using foolishness.
So basically, you was helping me with PR and I didn't know it.
Yeah. Because when it comes to PR work, you want to make sure that your client is coming out in the right manner with the way they are delivering information. And not really information, more so character. Yeah. A lot of people, whether people realize it or not, personality and character are two separate things. Personality and character is personality is mainly, let's use it for example as an artist. Personality is like what you see on stage when that person go out and perform and they give that show or whatnot. But character, that's what happens behind the scenes. Yeah. So it's like, if you're not prepping yourself in the right manner and you just carrying yourself all kind of way, people just seeing that personality. They not seeing your character, you know? Yeah. So that calendar project was my very first major project that I did under my brand. Yeah. And I loved it. I loved it. But prior to that, Now, you asked about an event. The very first event that I did, the very first client to hire me was Cupid, recording artist Cupid. He was the very first artist, very first client that I had, and he hired me. It was Brass Room Thursdays that we used to do, and it was poetry and spoken word night. I mean, poetry and spoken word night, and we would have a theme every Thursday night and whatnot, and that was one of the dopest things, meeting all these new people and hearing artists and whatnot. So y'all stop sleeping on the arts, people. Support the arts.
Support the arts,
support sports and music. Support the arts from theater, poetry, spoken word. Like, y'all give the sports a lot of love, but come on now. Come on.
Look, support the arts, man.
Support the arts. Dance, all of it.
So when did the mission turn the corner to where it almost like you became like a do you call it activist? Do you call it I don't even know what to call it, because all I saw was just kids and women, lupus. And when did it go from business promotions, mentorship to no, I see the power, and now I'm really about to make some shock waves? Because that's when it was like gyms rented out and football. And no, I'm serious. Like, I want to break this down because I watched all of this take place, man.
Gotcha. So the pivotal moment was back in 2012. That was season 5 Calendar Models. They were my very first group that I enjoyed to the fullest. And of course, you was on that crew. That crew was amazing. I mean, the unity, the talent, the gifts, just the camaraderie, like all of it was just amazing.
That was a big family. Yeah.
Big family. And so that year was considered the soft launch of Spoken Red Honors. Spoken Red Honors is my yearly awards program that happens the first Friday in December every year. And with that awards program, not only we release the official calendar project, but that is my time when I pay reference and honor and homage to those who help me be me, help the brand alive, make impact on others. And with Spoken Red Honors, what's so amazing with Spoken Red Honors, I got the influence from it from BET Honors and Kennedy Center Honors. If you ever watch either of the two, you will understand, what they're about. You know what I'm saying? You can look them on YouTube, whatever. And they are honoring people that are making impact and influences on people. We often, and I'll say this once, and I'm sure I'm gonna probably say it again during this broadcast.
Come on with it.
Y'all, so folks tend to want to support celebrities more than the actual people that's in their hometown. Let me even go even deeper. Y'all want to support celebrities more than you support your own peers. That's the problem. Yeah, you might not like everything that they do. That's okay. But it makes a big difference when someone says, oh, I don't want to pay $25 to go to your event, but you paid $250 to go to a concert that you won't even talk to the actual celebrity. Make it make sense. But yet you saying, oh, I support small businesses, but you're not doing it. That makes no sense to me.
Where does that psychology come from, if I do may ask?
I mean, for me, I feel it's that a lot of times people feel that they don't see you growing further than them. That's the key, So it's like when it comes down to it, and we're going to keep it 100. We're going to be full transparency. A lot of people see you as just seeds. They don't see you as the plant. So when they see you as the plant and they see you go from a plant to a garden, that's when the pressure happens. You see, we all start off as seeds together. All of us, we all seeds. So we all in this community or whatever. All right, and then you have those that want to operate in their talents. They become those plants. All right, got it. But then you have those like me and you, where we start bringing others in and we want to see them do well. And then we develop a garden. Nobody walk around in a field full of weeds. You want to walk around in something that's plentiful. So it's like you got to stop taking your gifts and talents just to bring people down. So that's where I feel that whole mindset comes from is intimidation, is jealousy, is envy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you spend all your time just wanting to tear people down, and you wondering why you're not elevating, that's why. Because that's all you're doing is tearing people down. That makes no sense.
The power that you have. One thing I can say I always saw you do, Coach. Everything that you did was about uplifting other people, man.
And it's hard.
I'm gonna be
completely honest with you. It's hard at times. First of all, I thank God for just the opportunity to do it. Though, secondly, just from a community advocate standpoint, a lot of times people feel that you help somebody and then you waiting to get something back. Once again, like I just mentioned, is you want to see them elevated. Though at the same time, let's make this very clear. Don't act with me one way in public and another way with me in private. If you gonna salute, you gonna salute and be done with that. Period. People tend to take that as a way of saying, oh, well, you know, he helped me before, I got what I needed, so I don't need to bother with him. Oh, he think he better than me. And oh, this, you know, people gonna say what they want to say.
Yeah.
Your job is to follow him, not them. Period. You worship him, not them.
Yeah.
It's always love. And anybody that's tuned into this broadcast and watching, and I'll definitely want to say that. I said this back in 2016 for my year 9 celebration. If anybody go around and tell you that I have a grudge with them, they have a grudge with themselves. Because I refuse to let anybody hinder my blessings. We are all adults, period. We are all adults, period. No, I'm not letting no. You see, let me tell you how I operate. You see, I'm like a pipe. You know, when water go through a pipe, in order for that water to come out clear, it has to go through the right filtering. So when some erosion get into that pipe, you don't want to deal with that erosion at all. So how you get rid of that erosion? You filter it out.
Yeah.
People know what they do to you, and you know what you do to people.
Yeah.
So you use your discernment accordingly and adhere accordingly. Period.
Yeah. Go ahead and preach the sermon, Cole. I mean, it's true though. To me, and since we're talking about it, and this is good for the people, especially for the leaders, man. Do you know I couldn't truly begin to grow until I stopped worrying about people, Cole.
Yes.
And I ain't talking about people. I'm talking about the wrong people. You really have to learn how to accept, move on.
Right.
Accept, move on. Because one thing I noticed when people are struggling with things on the inside, a lot of times they'll tend to pull down those who carry that light.
Right.
And I had to learn how to love and let go, and that was hard.
Yeah, and I remember it being hard for you because I remember when those folks walked away and you was like, well, what do I do now? And I literally remember that day whenever I told you, I said, Brandon, I didn't say humble. I didn't say humble. I said, Brandon. I said, Brandon, I'm going to step away from you a while. And I want you to evaluate what's going on. And then when you came back, you said, bro. That was bro. And you just went straight on in.
Hey, that was hard, man.
And it really goes to, you know, just how you're mentioning about, you know, separating yourself from negative people. It's just like the way people look at social media. There's some people that get on social media and that's all they do is talk about negative stuff all the time. So guess what? If you just follow negative, what you gonna be? Negative. Period.
Hey,
the most successful, you are what you eat. Let me tell you something. The most successful and wealthy people in the world barely use social media. Barely. They have other people, their PRs, their assistants, their interns, their marketing teams, all of that. They're using the stuff for them, and that's it. Nobody else. They're not on there doing that. Why? Because they're too busy impacting and influencing and doing what they need to do.
Yeah. So now I'm about to start picking your brain to help out those young leaders out there who are beginning their journey. They have hearts to help people. Let's go to the advice part now, Cole.
Okay.
That you would give to a young individual out there, or an older individual that's starting their journey to wanting to help the community, wanting to outreach, wanting to do all these things, but don't know where to even begin.
Gotcha.
How does that start?
So first things first, you want to identify what your passions are. A lot of times people don't really take the time to identify what your passions are. When you identify what your passions are, it won't feel like work. It won't feel like community service hours. It won't feel like stress. It won't feel like pressure. It's just going to be you operating as you. So identifying passions is number one. Number two, come wholeheartedly, not with an ulterior motive. A lot of people, a lot of folks tend to want to do advocacy because they want clout. They want people to see them. They want attention. They want the lights, bells, whistles. If you're going to help from your heart, period.
Hold up.
Don't need.
I need somebody to type in the comments. If you're going to help from the heart. Where my was that, man? If you're going to help from the heart.
Yeah, you have to want to help from the heart, because when you operate from the heart, that's you operating as the authentic you. You're not coming as artificial. You're coming as you. So you're not just writing a check and saying, "Hey, I supported you." You know what I'm saying? There may not be any cameras at all. They may just be a bunch of people, and riddle me this. If you're in a grocery store and you see an elderly woman struggling, trying to get a case of water and put it in her basket, are you going to stop and pull your phone out? Let me record myself while I'm getting this case of water and to put in this woman's basket? No. Why would you do that? That's stupid. Pick the water up, put it in the basket, and keep on going. So that's what is part two when it comes down for you to becoming, operating as a community activist. It's like help from the heart, period. And then number three, which is most important, don't be afraid to try something new. A lot of times we don't want to stretch. It's just like a rubber band. You take that rubber band and you may just look at it and be like, well, that rubber band don't do nothing. But when you take that time and stretch that rubber band, you're like, wow, that rubber band could go out a lot. That's a key thing. Don't limit to what kind of help that you can give. There's so many avenues that need help. Let's use this month, for example. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month, along with Lupus Awareness Month.
Hey, Cole, let's talk for a while about the mental health. Let's get comfortable right here for a few minutes, man.
Let's go in it.
First of all, mental health, man. Why is it not talked about in our community, man?
Well, it's considered a hush-hush. I mean, when we look at, just growing up in Black households, and I'm not targeting any households in particular. I'm just saying, a lot of times you see a certain person acting out of the norm, and we quick to label them as crazy. When in actuality, they're really not crazy. They need two things. They need Jesus and they need therapy. And yes, it's okay to have both. And when it comes down, and it's more than okay, it's wonderful to do both. And when it comes down to it, a lot of people tend to fight identity issues because their emotions have been suppressed for so long. Ooh. So that is what brings what brings people not to really identify what mental health truly is. How healthy is, in order to love yourself, I feel you have to love yourself within 4 aspects. That's mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. If you don't love yourself through all those 4, there's a strong possibility that something traumatic may have happened in one of those aspects that needs to be evaluated in order for you to heal from it.
That's good right there. Drop some hearts right there. That's good right there. That's good right there, man. Say that one more time. 4 areas.
Yeah, in order to love yourself, you must love yourself wholeheartedly. And in order to love yourself wholeheartedly, you must love yourself within 4 aspects. That's mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. When you take those 4 into consideration, when you feel that you don't love yourself wholeheartedly, there's a possibility that one of them, you may have experienced trauma from it, and you need to heal from it. And a lot of times we don't address that. And when you don't address that, that's when you deal with identity issues.
Yeah.
A lot of people fight with identity issues. They don't really know who they are because of the people that they're around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could even be the household that you're in. It's not even identified.
Yeah. Unhealed trauma, Cole.
Unhealed trauma is a real thing, you know, and I'll even elaborate on how important addressing unhealed trauma is. A lot of people feel that when you get into relationships, well, let's look at how society is going right now. A lot of people just want to be with people because of the way they look, what they have, and what they do. Mm-mm. In order to love anybody, you gotta love yourself first. You can't go trying to love somebody halfway. If y'all both going in halfway, guess what? Y'all have to have that communication, that understanding to say, look, I know I'm still working on things. I know you working on things, though together we gonna work on things. Like over the years, one of the things that I've identified with is the whole concept of people constantly saying, oh, we need to be 50-50 in a relationship. No, we don't. We need to be 100-100.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Because when you have your days that you feel 70, I want to be that one to bring you up back to your 100.
Yeah.
And vice versa. That's how that's supposed to go. And
50-50 is that new thing, man.
Yeah, and it ain't it. And I even know it's like some people is 90-10, 80-20. Yeah. And they like, well, what's going on here? Well, y'all not even communicating.
Yeah.
You know, that's an issue right there.
So let's bring it to connections and communications, man. Communications, man.
When it comes down to connections and communications, it really applies to your everyday life. Honestly, when you want to grow, it really pays to who you connect with. Let's go deeper. So when it comes down to what I just mentioned in reference to loving yourself, you know, wholeheartedly, it determines the type of people that you surround yourself with. Case in point, there's going to be times in life as you grow, as you mature, you notice you don't like certain things anymore like you used to. You start beginning to like newer things or things that really bring you out more.
Your taste.
So, was that?
Like your taste change.
Yeah, your taste change. You know, it's like 1 minute you love mayo, next minute you don't like mayo no more. You're like, oh, don't give me that. You know? And so when identifying that, those new connections that you're finding, you have to have the right way to communicate with those connections. Yeah. How do you do that? Growing yourself through finding different outlets that bring you in the right environments.
Yeah.
Speak to the right people. It also goes into coming with mental health. So if you're struggling with that mental aspect, you're not going to want to talk to nobody at all. So where do you resort from that? There's so many outlets, like I just mentioned. And one of the key outlets that I want to use just for example is shout out to Dr. Yul Netter. I want to shout him out right now.
Yul Netter. So, I got that name somewhere, man.
So Dr. Yul Netter is literally one of the most unsung voices of the area, literally. And when it comes down to him, there's so many profound moments that he brings forth that brings people to find how important communications and connections intertwine.
Yeah.
A lot of times we tend to just want to surround ourselves with familiarity of what we're familiar with, what we just know. But when you take that time out and say, let's say, for example, you want to be an advocate for mental health. Well, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to look and see the sources that are available for you to learn more about mental health.
Right.
Same thing with running a marathon. You're not going to just say, hey, let me sign up for the marathon and just start running it. You actually going to prepare for it.
Get connected.
So in order to take communications and connections, you got to identify the insecurities that you can switch into securities.
Break that down. Identify the insecurities that you could switch into securities. Come on.
So let's portray for a moment.
All right.
Take for a moment and think about something that you're really, really insecure about.
Golfing.
Okay. Why are you
begging me to go? And I've been putting it off for over a year. I can't do it. Y'all all professionals. No.
Okay. So what makes you so insecure about golfing?
because all my buddies that play golf been playing for years. Look, one day a guy brought me to the field. He was like, go ahead, take a try. I dug about 12 holes. He just walked straight up and I'm just like, but he like, man, you meet so many business people, man. You can meet so many. And I'm just like, man, my wife trying to get me to go. My dad played golf. And I'm like, but they all better than me, man. I'm gonna go out there myself. So golf, that's just one of them. Golf.
Okay. Name some that you secure in.
Music.
Okay. How could you make a song that relates to golfing?
Talking about intimidation.
Okay.
Look, hearing an intimidation.
Okay. So you have to take that insecurity and tackle it by writing music about it. Because the more you stray away from it, you see, all this time that you're trying to stay, all this time you're trying to mask this insecurity, there's actually something for you in that area, which you mask.
That's deep.
So it's like, the things that you run from. It's just like people. You ever thought about that? It's somebody you just constantly, you're like, oh, they get on my nerves, and you ain't ever had a conversation with them before. And you like, they get on my nerves, and let them tell their story, and then you're like, dang, that's why. That's how you identify. That's how you take an insecurity and flip it into a security.
I dig that. I'm gonna implement that, man. I'm going to the golf course, man.
Just go.
It's something there waiting for me, man.
Because this is one of the things that you got to understand, and I've been saying this for years. No matter where you go, always talk to 7 people that you don't know. We often tend to go to events and whatnot, and we want to stick with, oh, that's my friends, that's my family, I want to stay with them. You never know who you're going to come in contact with. And you know how those golf courts run. You wealthy folks that's on that golf court. And there's an answer for you on that golf course, that you avoided, and you're not realizing that you're avoiding.
Be like a ton of bricks, man. I've never seen that many people trying to get me to go somewhere, and I'm just like, nah, man. And I always go. And he like, bro, I'm telling you, man. This is how I've made every connection. These are all the people I done met. These are people that helped me with business, helped me with investing. And I didn't know anything about that. I just was playing golf with them. And I'm just like, nah, man. Man, I'm going, man.
You're right. Because, I mean, stop for a second. And I want you to identify insecurity with your music. You know you want to get on another level with your music. But there's something that's keeping you insecure from you going to that security moment. So you got to take that insecurity and flip that insecurity around.
Yeah.
Because there's elevation in your music. You thinking, oh yeah, I'm doing all that I need to do. Don't cap your talent. Keep it open. Your talent is not supposed to ever be capped at all.
You see, I've been getting this work for 20 years, man. Almost now. He tell it straight to your face, no chasing, no fit. Look, what you need to do, this what's going on right now. Get over it and get through it, man. That's how it all been, man. And look, you know I take your advice. I'm moving, man. I'm moving, man.
You got to do it.
So here we go, Cole. What can you give to our community as a whole from sitting in your seat and from what you see? What can you give the community as a whole?
Whew. I got to excel on that one. That's a real deep one.
Look, I had to close it out with a banger. Look, take a second. What can you give if you were standing in the field with the entire Lafayette and all eyes on you? What would you give us? What would you tell us?
I mean, I guess. Oh, sheesh, that's a good question. I mean, first thing. The biggest petition of my heart is for everyone to have a personal relationship with God. Yes, I mean, that's number one for me. I feel that, everybody, what I'm seeing right now in society is so many people is everything. Let me even break it down even more.
Come on.
I want you to have a relationship with God. Okay. And the reason why I want you to I have a relationship with God because of the Trinity. Okay, when it comes to the Trinity, it's God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so you have your personal relationship with God. Though I want to just really, really dig into that. People, please understand, there's a difference between religion and spirituality. It's not the same thing. In my opinion, and this is what I've observed over the years, a lot of people have strayed away from having a personal relationship with God because of things that had happened to them from people claiming that they're Christians. And those folks that's claiming they're Christians, in actuality, probably have been running in a quote unquote religious mindset versus a spiritual mindset. Let me break it down for you even further. When it comes to religion and spirituality, religion is being closed-minded. You stuck on a set rule. Whereas spirituality, the spiritual mindset, you relying heavily on Holy Spirit. You see, everything that comes from Holy Spirit is fresh and new. You see, religion will make you think that you got to do the same old thing, same every day, be around the same people. Though as spirituality, going to make you realize how Jesus made the moves that he did in the Bible. You see, he had 12 friends. He wasn't worried about 12,000 followers. He didn't have a mask on. He didn't have antibacterial in his hand. He wasn't wearing no name brand nothing. He had his sandals on.
Yeah.
And he was walking everywhere. So with that spirituality, he went and sought out those that needed to be delivered. It goes back to the story about the 99 and the 1. How many people right now, y'all, is that one that you're not going to reach out to? When was the last time you thought about that one person, and because of how you was feeling, you're like, they're on their own. Let them keep doing what they're doing. Going back to what mental health awareness is all about. I've heard it once, I've heard it twice, I heard it multiple times. The reason why people's name come into your spirit is because they are in need right now. They are in need. They may just need that text message from you. They may just need a phone call from you. They may need to see your face. They may need a hug from you. They need something.
Being led by
from
the
a
Spirit.
Spiritual standpoint, you're going to reach out to that person. But from a religious standpoint, you could be like, I ain't doing that.
They should did what they did.
I ain't doing it. They don't want to come to church with me. So guess what? I'm not dealing with them. So that would be like the first thing that I would say. I want everybody to have a personal relationship with God. And number 2, thank God for you. Thank you for you. A lot of times we don't take the time to thank ourselves for being ourselves.
Yeah. Please
operate in your true identity. When you start acting like everybody else, it's hard for you to keep your story up. Straight up. If you have 4 friends, you talk one way to this friend, one way to another friend, one way to the other friend, one way to that friend. You told them this, you told this one that, told this one that. And every time they see you, they like, man, Corey not ever himself. You know who your true friends are when they know you without you even opening your mouth.
I just had this conversation with Lil Zeke in the car. That father son. Me to him what it is to be real. You should be the same person no matter what room you step in. No matter who comes around, you shouldn't be one way when this person comes in. One way when you're around this one. Then if this one shows up, I have to do this. And if this one shows up, I have to be this way. No, man. Live a life where you are you no matter where you go. I ain't see Jesus switching all kind of different. He was him, man.
All the time.
He stood on what he stood on, and he was who he was. Everywhere he went, no matter who was in front of him.
Correct.
He was him.
Correct. And
that's
folks,
what you're saying, man.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense because when you go to the Word, whether you have the Bible app on your phone or not, this is your sign for you to download the Bible app on your phone. And if you don't know the Lord as your Lord and Savior, let me bring you to him. Like, I can testify as a living testimony. Like, when I was in that hospital bed, I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. I didn't. And here I allowed him to come. First of all, he didn't ever leave me. That's number 1. He didn't ever leave me. You know what I'm saying? He knew that I was going to come back, and I came back. And I'm going to continue following him. though those that are watching, download that Bible app and start doing those Bible plans, and just take the time out and just type a word that you may be experiencing. Just like I just told Brandon, insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
You probably dealing with patience. Type the word patience. There's verses, there's plans, there's videos, there's the whole nine for you to relate with. That's how you develop a commitment. And through a commitment, you develop a consistency. And then when you develop a consistency, you develop a formula. And with that formula, that's when you develop your foundation. And once that foundation is set, all you can do is go up. That's it.
Somebody dropped the cards for that breakdown he just did. Somebody dropped the cards
you can do. Yeah. So when it comes down to when it comes down to you using Bible plans, identity, that's one of the things that I want everybody that's watching. Learn who your true identity is. Your identity comes from Him. And when you operate in Him, you realize how much abundance comes forth. He did not bring us into this world for us to operate in lack at all. He did not. He brought us in to be abundant. And the key thing that when it comes to identity, because he was like, in the beginning of the podcast, he was like, Corey, I don't really know what to label you. Mm-hmm. I don't need a label. I'm a servant. And that's all what matters to me. We have fivefold ministry and the whole nine. That's fine. It is all good. The Holy Bible, brother. Lamont, I see you, brother.
The Holy Bible.
The Holy Bible. And I kid you not.
That make you feel good, even if we got one.
That's it. And that it goes right back to what I told you. And you can message me, brother. He gonna have all my links and everything. Like, I'm willing to, this is how dedicated I am to my personal relationship with God. I'm willing to do a Bible plan with you. Literally.
That's real.
And help you understand what it's all about, because I want you to identify you. One of the key models that I'm real close to right now is knowing your work. You got to know your work. And aside from that, you got to realize all victories, no losses. No matter what situation I'm in, I win. That's what victory is all about.
No losses, man.
So that's one of the key things that I want when it comes for people to witness is your identity comes from Him. So in Him, you win. He ain't ever lose. He's always winning. So when you have your faith in Him, you always winning. That's it. So you gotta operate from that. Got to.
He says he has the King James app on my phone, or I follow you on LinkedIn. I'm not on social media.
I'll reach out to him. I got it.
That's somebody hungry, man.
That's what it's all about. It's all about that growth. I'm telling you, it's all about that growth. And one of the key things with that, when it comes to identity, and I can definitely speak from it when it comes down to Mental Health Awareness Month. Years ago, I dealt with an identity issue. You know what I'm saying? Where I was starting to forget who I was. And I remember my homie, Broderick Peebles, BP, my bar, he had reached out to me and he was like, bro, I looked at a picture of you one day and you don't seem like yourself. Yeah. And I remember looking in that mirror and I was like, you know what, Corey? You seeing one way on the outside, but on the inside is something not what's up.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic came in, I literally took that moment to focus back on my identity. And here I am 3 years later. I'm operating so strong in my identity, nothing, nobody, no thing, no place, nothing is going to interrupt my peace. Why? Because my true identity comes from Him. And no matter what situation I'm going through, I have to go to Him. For those that's watching, like straight up, when you're not on the same vibes of your family or your friends, it's okay for you to take a moment and evaluate your life. You have to take that time to evaluate. You seek that discernment, you seek that wisdom, you seek that knowledge from Him, and He's going to direct you. And be okay with loving from a distance. It's nothing wrong with loving from a distance. It's not saying you don't love Him no more. It's you just loving from a distance. But you have to, once again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to wholeheartedly love yourself. You love God, you love yourself, so you can love others, period. Don't let people bamboozle you and tell you, oh, shout out to the universe, shout out to Sage and all this stuff. Where do you think all of this came from?
Yeah.
God created all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be you. You know your worth. All victories, no losses. No matter what situation I'm in, I'll win.
Yeah. Cool, man. You blessed us tonight, Cole, man.
It's all good, bro.
Hey, you blessed us tonight. Hey, if y'all was blessed tonight by Cole, y'all drop some hearts, and I'm gonna give all y'all in here a minute to show some love to Cole. Like, for real, like I said, I give all glory to God for everything, but I'm gonna bring back giving honor to people when it's due, man. Y'all show some love to my brother, man.
We have any questions, bro? Any questions?
I'm about to put the banner up. Any questions? We're gonna open the platform for all comments and questions right now. Hold on, let me get it because I got some right now.
Okay.
Shauna says sometimes exit is necessary.
That is true. That is true. Because it could be a hindrance. You could be dealing with a hindrance and not even know it. Nobody trying to deal with no burdens, you know. It's like you have to literally, it's just like a track athlete, you know. In order for them to win the race, they got to jump over the hurdles. Yeah. So that applies to your life. When you come on those hurdles, it's not for you to run into them. It's for you to jump over them and keep going so you can keep winning.
She says, find you and need you on purpose, in purpose.
Yep. Purpose is everything. When you know your purpose, it goes a long way, y'all. It really does. And it really, really does. Because you loving yourself, like I mentioned before, you wholeheartedly loving yourself, and you following the passions that are on the inside of you. You see, a lot of times we don't look at the petitions of our heart. The petition of our heart are those small, what's considered small is actually big. It's those silent prayers. It's those that you say on the inside. Though, like one of my mentors, Pastor Vanessa Smith, says, in order to move a mountain, you have to use your mouth.
Yeah.
So it's like you speak to that mountain so that mountain will move.
Yeah.
Period.
She says, find yourself and be yourself on purpose, in purpose. You know what's something I noticed, Cole?
What's up?
That I'm realizing, what we call the enemy, a lot of times God places in our lives and around us to force us to find out who we truly are through him.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point to where you have enough of labels and enough of people calling you this, enough of misunderstandings, enough of to where you really say, you know what? I don't need any validation from outside.
You don't.
He said, greater that's he that is within me.
Mm-hmm.
You will gain strength to get to a point where you don't look for any validation on the outside whatsoever.
You don't. Because when you get caught up with that, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I know who I am through him.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that. Who else do I need to tell?
So look at it even further. He is called I am. They didn't call him I am not. They call him I am. He is the great I am.
Hey.
So when it comes to you operating as you, how are you using I am these days? You have to watch your words. One of the things that Holy Spirit told me at Spoken Red Honors to let the audience know was, stop taking ownership of what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bad habit of saying, oh, this is me, this is that. If you know you're not a loser, stop calling yourself a loser. Call yourself who you are. What you say after I am, you bring in fruition to it. You manifesting it. So watch your words.
Whatever after I am is the law.
Exactly.
Whatever you say after that, that's what it is.
So when you say I am winning, I am healed, I am successful, I am undefeated, I am victorious, let me tell you something. You feel that momentum coming into you right away. But when you start saying all those negative words, guess what? You feel like what you just said. So watch your words.
Look, you convicted me right now because you spoke about the music. The last song I wrote that ain't been released is called I Am.
You see?
song is I Am.
You see, one of the key things we can do as men is take the time out to, number one, stop suppressing our emotions, and number two, take time for solitude. We don't take time to silence ourselves. Self-care is very important. Self-care is very important. Every Monday is my self-care day. And a lot of times when people hear self-care, the first thing that comes in their mind is, oh, let me have a spa day. No, you may just need to just lay down. You may just need to sit quiet. You may just need to do your favorite things all day long. You may need to leave that laptop closed. You may need to just put that phone on do not disturb. It is very important for you to have self-care. Men, women, children, everybody. You can't operate in you without self-care. Whether it's a full day, a half a day, an hour, you got to do self-care.
You blessing us right now, Cole.
That solitude is so important. Because think about it. You could take a smartphone, and that smartphone don't want to operate accordingly. But if you take a moment and power cycle that phone, when that phone come back on, that phone is operating in full capacity. So what are you doing? What are you doing to power cycle yourself? You need to stop. You got to stop. Sit yourself in the corner and be quiet. Literally, be quiet.
Heard of nowadays, Cole.
Oh, it is. And stop making
about
people
mental
put a
health
label on you and tell you, oh, you a man not supposed to do that. Let me tell you something. The ones that's saying all of that, they wish that they was doing that. So don't get caught up on what they say. You do what you got to do.
So we got my brother in the building. Blessings to you, my brother, for the shout out. Yes,
That's
sir.
a big homie. Dr. Ulanetta, man. Y'all follow him. I'm telling you. That brother is golden.
You can't care for anyone until you care for man.
That is true. Shauna, that is true. That is so true.
That's it in a nutshell, man.
Because
this is the hard part about that. When you make the decision to focus on self-care, you're gonna find out we really love you. Oh, Cole.
That is true. And let's go even deeper than that. That's how you identify who's hurting. Because let's really, really, really go into that. When I mentioned earlier about the whole identity issue, okay, those that really know me know that I'm a very outspoken person. So it's like when you see me super quiet, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
To those that's watching, there's some people that's been silent around you and they need you. And they need you big time. Don't think because they smiling, laughing, joking, doing all of that stuff that they are okay. We have to start resorting from, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good.
I'm good.
No, really. How are you feeling?
I swear. Ask them again.
What's going on in your life? How can I help you? What do you need help with? All these closed-ended questions with this yes and no, that ain't working no more.
You know what I call it? We got to start invading people's space.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because that's how you get people out of those comfort zones.
Oh, I'm good.
That's how you I love that, Shauna. Where are you today? Because a lot of times people don't do that. It's like, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. And then that's it.
I'm good.
That's it. And folks tend to dwell on assumptions so darn much. Everything is, oh, well, I assume he good because look at what he posts on social media. He got it all together. And then those that's doing bad, you're like, oh, well, you see, I knew they was doing bad, but they probably not doing bad. They probably just posting that bad stuff just to see how you gonna respond to it.
And another thing too, your strongest of the strongest, and we all know who those people are.
Mm-hmm.
Check on them, man.
That's the truth.
You got a lot of people that hold up a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever takes the time to see if they're good.
Mm-mm.
When
they have it all together.
When you get so used to knowing somebody being strong, it'll almost get to the point where you're like, nah, I know they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I know they're good. Check on the people that's holding a lot of people up, man.
Yeah, because they need you. They really do need you. You know, they want you to reach out to them. Exactly. Thank you, Shauna. You know, they want you to, take the time out and reach out to them. That's why it's so important. I don't know how often people do this, but I'm one of those, it's like shout out to those friends where you can literally not be doing nothing, but just you with them. It fulfills you. That's that soul food. We all need that. We all need that soul food.
That's deep.
It shouldn't be anything about, oh, let's go to this concert or whatever. Maybe we just need to be in each other's presence and allow all of our energy to come together as one. When was the last time you had a weekend that you enjoyed so much you thought the weekend was still going on?
Yeah.
That's what a real weekend is. And a lot of times we tend to sit at these dinner tables or in rooms or whatnot, and we on our phones the whole time. Man, put them phones in the corner. Let's talk. Sometimes you are missing out on deals that need to be closed. Literally, you're missing out on them because you playing on your phone.
In the way the world going to, Cole, with all that AI, all the social media, do you know it's going to get to the point where people fiend for something that's real, man?
It's already happening.
Actually, just talk, man. I love this, Cole.
It's already happening right now, because it's like you just look at social media as one, and then look at news. It's to the point where they almost look identical, and that's not good. We grew up in an era where we didn't have cell phones.
Man, we was outside all day, man.
We was outside. And you knew you wasn't coming in the house until that light came on outside. You remember that light, that security light at the end of that's when you knew it was time to come in the house. You've been outside all this time, smelling like that outside. Took that snack and went in that bed, and that was it. But you see now, and I'm not targeting nobody. Y'all quick to throw these devices to these children, and that's where they getting the information that they get. When was the last time you sat down with your child and had that self-care moment with your child? Your child needs you. If you expect them to grow a leader, guess what? I need you to lead. Straight up. I need you to lead. And how you lead is by you spending that time with that child and figuring out what's their favorites, what's their passions, and doing that with them and watching them do it. It's so rewarding to watch your child do amazing things.
Keep talking. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Keep talking to the people.
It's like it's so amazing for you to be able to just take the time out and be with your child and see them grow. Because these days these kids, they grow up so quickly. One minute they babies, the next minute they preteens, then the next minute they're adults. They keep moving. And the same thing with you. Being an adult. At one point in time, you was a child, teenager, and now you're an adult, and you just growing on to the next. What's that, Doc?
I wrote this 2 weeks ago. Getting to know Zeke, 10 things he likes to do.
Come on.
Animals. Favorite animal is a ferret. He likes going to the water park. Naruto. That's one of them characters.
Yeah, one of those samurai stuff.
Playing with his game, his favorite game, God of War, and the list goes on. But what you're saying is for real, and that doesn't matter if it's your wife, if it's your kid, if it's your friend. Like, get to know and Cole, talk about this for a second.
Sure.
People evolve and change every day. The person you knew 10 years ago is not the same person. The person you knew yesterday is not the person that's sitting.
It's true. Here's another key thing. Forgive your parents.
Oh, Lord.
Because a lot of people are not doing it. You have to, just as much as you want your family to give you grace, be able to give them grace as well.
Forgive
just as much as time constantly changes. You know what I'm saying? Time constantly changes. So when they had you, things were one way. And now that you're older, things are another way.
Yeah.
Be okay with coming back to connections and communications. Communicate with each other on how y'all can collectively as a family do better.
Yeah.
Because it's changing every day, every single day. And that's where that forgiveness comes from. We're quick to say, oh, well, when I grew up, we didn't do this and that and so forth. Well, make it happen. Make that change happen.
Cole. Cole.
What's up?
Ain't nothing changed, man. Ain't nothing changed, man.
Me being me, you know that.
Hey, same you evolve you though.
Mm-hmm.
Same you evolve you, man. Do we have any more comments and questions, man? My first question I got for you.
What's up?
Are we gonna get a part 2?
Oh, definitely. I'm down. You want a part 2? We can get it.
Hey, can we get a part 2, man?
We can definitely get it.
Look, I'm gonna be sending you a sketch. I know your business and you locked up. I'm sending you locking my date in. Look, I'm sending you dates tomorrow, man.
I got you.
I need part 2. This was healthy. Hold on. Pops in here. Pops say living for others mean living to please others, living for external validation and approval, and caring about what others thinks. We are setting our goals based on what others want for us, like your parents, or chasing what society deems as success. Speak a little on that. Oh,
let's see. Okay, living for others for external validation.
So we got external validation.
He got me pondering on that. Speak a little on that. We are setting our goals based on what others want for us, or chasing what society deems as a success. Oh gosh, that's a good one. I know that's right.
Breezy say
that's right. What's up, Breezy? Going back to that comment. Oh gosh, that's a very, very deep one. We are setting our goals based on what others want for us.
That's rough.
I mean, that goes back to identity once again. You know, it's like I feel. Ooh, let's just go all the way in it. Some people are captive within themselves. Some people really want you to operate as them because of what they didn't do. But then,
whoa! Wait, man. Hold on, man. Slow down, man. Slow down, man. Say that one more time, man.
Some people want you to operate as them through you.
Because of what they didn't get to do.
Because of what they didn't do. Some people want you to operate as them. That's for what they didn't do. And so it's like, it goes back to what we talked about, connections and communications. Are you going to connect to captivity, or are you going to connect to freedom? In order for you to break out of that captivity cycle, you have to communicate and speak on what you actually love and what you actually want to do. Because I'm telling you right now, there are people that are that part, Breezy, living vicariously. Because there are people right now, you see them, they dress their children like they would want to dress. You dress like that. Don't make your child dress like that. You dress like that. Same thing for wanting your children to do things because you didn't do it. You do that. Don't make them do it, because this is what happens. They get into that cycle where they fall in that pit. It becomes dark. They become depressed. You know the rest. Don't get them stuck in that captivity. Take the time out and let them speak on what they actually like. When was the last time you even asked them if they like what they're doing? And please look at this as well. There are adults out there that don't even like what they're doing. So just because they're 18 and 21, they still don't know. You have some that's 33, 43, 53, that's still looking for you to be like, I don't know if I'm doing this the right thing. Are you really operating in what you love? Man. Because if you just up there, okay, well, I'm getting paid, that's all what matters. That's what separates the rich from the wealthy. The rich is focused on the money, while the wealthy is focused on the freedom. They have all the riches they need because the riches that they have allows them to invest in others. And investment is not only financial, folks. Time is another investment that people need. They need that time.
That's number one.
They need that time. So in response to that comment, that is what I feel is currently what's going on, you know, is that folks want people to be them by what they didn't do. And that it's not, it's crippling. It's really crippling, because even those, you know, that are tuned in, when was the last time you told somebody you love your job and you really love your job?
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, I like my job. What you like about my job? Oh, I like it. Oh, I love the job. Oh, what you love about it? Oh, I love it. Think about it. The
You got
career that you're in right now, would you bring a 18-year-old fresh out of high school, a recent graduate, into your field? Think about it. Would you let somebody shadow you at the job that you're doing right now, the career that you're doing right now? Because you can't put a facade. You can't put a facade. They need to see you being you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Look,
do.
a lot of us fear that cause never do what we really called to do, man.
Right. It's true. Let's see. There's many of us never let our kid reach. And that is true. Because it's like you don't need to cripple them. You don't. You have to take the time out, just like Humble Joe just said. He took the time out and identified the 10 things that Zeke likes. Okay, so now from that, he doesn't have to do all those 10 things with Zeke all the time. He can rotate it. You know what I'm saying? Or literally ask that open-ended question. Zeke, what would you like to do today? You know what I'm saying? It's my day off. It's our day together. What you feel like doing? You know,
Look, even the wives too.
And let me tell you,
wives too.
And let me tell you something. Another thing with that, when it comes down to loving wholeheartedly, this goes for friendships, relationships, marriages. When was the last time you did a just because thing just because? Doing a just because is actually reaping what you sow. So when was the last time you did a just because thing just to do it just because? Think about it. Friendships, relationships, marriages. When was the last time?
Yeah.
Because once again, you claim you wholeheartedly love that person.
Yeah.
But when was the last time you did a just because? A just because could literally be, oh, I'm driving home. They didn't ask for it, but I got them Dairy Queen. And they like, why you did that?
What made you think about me?
Just because, and just walk right on away. Yeah. Look, I found this cap in the store. I know you like caps. Oh man, that's fresh. And let me tell you what you're igniting in that person. Belief. You're igniting belief in that person. Because they're gonna take stuff, man. Because they'll take that cap and they're going to wear that cap all the time. They can have a bunch of other caps that they can put on. But it's just something about that cap brings them back to that place of fullness. And when you operating in that fullness, you able to want to do it for somebody else. It's just constantly. That's what my brand about.
Yeah. To the T.
To the T. Is just because you is bringing amateurs into the spotlight. Literally, you have that fullness. You have that completion. You have that true identity. You have that love. You have that respect. And you just constantly going on and on. It's not just, oh, he doing that because he want to be a part of. No, I want you to grow, baby. I want you to grow.
Yeah.
I want you to grow. I don't want you to just feel like you I'll say this, and this is not tooting my own horn. I've seen a lot of people that I've given opportunities and awards to and just blossom instantly after that happened. So just imagine outside of that award show, if we do those type of things on a daily basis, how much more growth we're going to see. It's going to be less news stories. It's going to be less complaints. Stop feeding into what you don't want to eat.
Come on, man. Be the champ.
If you know you're not a fan of what somebody posted on social media, why are you resharing it? Don't put more fuel to it. That makes no sense to me. Just so you can write a commentary about it. Like, I've literally seen people, I made a TikTok video recently, and I've seen people comment, oh, well, I didn't, it was about the strawberry biscuit, and I've seen people comment, oh, well, I didn't like it. About, what you saying that for? You don't need to say that.
Right.
My page is not the customer service line.
Right.
It's not. Let's keep the positive vibes. Identify something that you like. You know.
Hey, Cole. You
What's
said things, man. Look, you said some things, man. I'm hearing you.
It's real.
I need everybody that's on the page right now to take a moment and share this page right now while we here. Share this page and hit that like button for me, yo. Share that page. Do we have more questions than they coming with some good questions, man?
It take that one person to speak into your life to start that spark. That's right, Pops. Like Charles said it to the T. And I believe that. And that's how I know the God-given vision from my brand, Spoken Red, is because I take into consideration those names that I mentioned throughout this podcast. You know, even the names that I didn't mention on this podcast, I thank them.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that God brought these people in, and he continues to bring people in. Don't ever think that you'll stop growing. You always got to remember you're going to constantly keep growing and growing and growing. And you have to take heed to those divine connections, because those divine connections come from communication. So here it is. Who would have thought, B, just from us connecting to writing English papers, and
20 years.
And we still have our brotherhood.
20 years.
I mean, it's just, and this is another thing that I want to say, and I definitely don't want to forget that. Just because you don't talk to somebody every day does not mean that they don't like you no more and they don't want to affiliate with you anymore.
No.
It's called progression. It's called life. It's called adulting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Identify the people in your life, no matter how long it's been since you talked to them, you still look at it as, oh man, it's so good. It's been a minute since we talked, but I'm so glad. Let's catch up and blah, blah, blah. No love lost, no ill will, none of that. Everybody can't talk to everybody every day. They just can't. They just can't. And you got to be okay with it. That's not breaking any grudges. That's not creating any grudges. Like, stop with the assumptions. You got to communicate. Hey, I want us to talk more. Hey, I want to, folks won't know unless you say something.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it again, man. I give all glory to God, but I want to take time to give honor to people that truly helped me. I don't believe there's nothing wrong with that, man.
No, it's not.
But it came from, I don't know how that got here. I don't know what it is, but we just feel like we can't say, Corey, thank you for all the opportunities you gave me. Thank you for letting me model on stage. Thank you for helping me when it first came to doing the music and knowing how to, man, you can't fight in no club, man. What are you doing, man? Like, thank you for the talks. Thank you for why can't you tell somebody thank you, man?
And just do it. Just do it. Do it from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. Just do it. Thank you. And because the timing of a thank you is no particular time for it. No matter how often you do it, it always feels good. Always. Because you're showing that respect to that person.
Look, Cole had me calling my pops to borrow suits. Man, Cole gonna have me on stage. He said, I gotta wear a suit. I ain't got no suit, Dad. I need a suit. Look, I remember that, man.
And you see, you was there back in 2016. That was season 9. And that's a definite testimony. That year, I really wanted to quit Spoken Red altogether.
Oh, man.
Literally. And I called, it was you, Keisha, and Daryl to be my host for that day. And y'all did not hesitate. Man. Because take into consideration, y'all was season 5. That was season 9. Y'all came in. I gave y'all what y'all needed to present for each award. Y'all did it. Y'all welcomed the guests. Y'all took pictures with them, the whole 9. Y'all had a reunion just within yourself.
Hey, I was just about to tell you, hey, Cole, I need you to throw a reunion for that group of family members.
Because y'all had 10 years. Y'all had 10 years.
Hey, that was that was family right there.
And so that's the thing. People tend to not take the time out and look at those moments. It's like, no matter how long it's been since we've connected, I'm like, all right, here we go. Look at y'all up there doing y'all thing.
I remember going there and Zeke was on my arm, man. Like, that's how long ago it was. Zeke was on my arm. Look,
Yep.
you messing around with his head. What up, Zeke? What up, Zeke? Hey, that's long ago, man.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the little things, and that's one song that I love that I always listen to. NDRE Little Things. You take that time and listen to that song. That song has so much value to it because those little things that have so much value to them and makes things a whole lot more grander to say. So
I'm opening it up one more time, man.
Like I definitely want to tell you, I can't thank you. It's all these things that you've done. Continue carrying the torch. I mean, this platform is really, really good. You know, allowing people to come on and tell their stories because healing is happening. Whether you realize it or not, you operating in ministry. You really, really are. You're operating in ministry. And that's a key thing by being a servant. That's a key thing by being a servant. It's not no paid subscription to be on this. It's just click it, get on it, and get what you need. And so with that, I call for the prophet's reward on you. I really do. I really do. Just grasp it and hold tight to it.
Reach out and grab it, man. I received that, man. And like you said, Cole, I'm doing this and I'm doing it wholeheartedly, man.
That's how you gotta
do nothing, man. I just want to help people, man.
That's how you gotta do. That's how you gotta do. You've been doing that since back then and you're doing it on. So keep rolling with it.
To be them, man. Authentically.
Yes, sir. That's key.
Period.
Key. That's key.
So let me close it out with prayer because I got a little lady upstairs that's waiting on me right now. No, hold up, wait. We got another cop. Look, hold up.
I don't want you sleeping on the couch.
No, I can't do the couch. I got a bad back, man.
Appreciate you, sir.
Jeez.
That's my homie right there. I ain't seen Mr. Charles in a minute.
Look, we gotta all do something.
We gotta do dinner something.
We gotta all do something, man.
ASAP, surely.
So I'm gonna close out in prayer. Like, dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing my brother to come and bless us with his words, bless us with his thoughts, bless us with his knowledge and his wisdom and his insight. I pray that anybody was on tonight, got to know you, got introduced to you, gained a stronger bond with you, gained healing, gained insight on what it is with mental awareness and what it is to love and what it is for self-care and what it is to take care of yourself so you can take care of others, Lord. I just pray that all those seeds fall on good ground. In Jesus' name, amen, man.
Amen and amen.
Hey, I love you, my brother. And like
I love you, bro.
I'm sending you some dates so we can get the part. Oh, wait, hold up.
I'll be ready for them.
Sorry I missed the live. I'll be tuning in the next session. Hey, I believe that. Big Waski. Look, we love y'all. And again, share the light. Oh. Clarissa.
That's my round.
I gotta do one more thing too. I forgot about this. Shout out Clarissa. Look, shout out Big Waski. Shout out Papa Spriggs. Shout out Latoya. Look, shout out Breezy Baby in the building. Shout out Shauna. I see you. Shout out Brother Raj. Shout out Lamont. I see you too. Good questions and insight. And don't forget to get that Bible app, Lamont. You already own it. Look, Corey said he's gonna walk through that with
LinkedIn right now.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to who else we got? My Worship Zone. Shout out. Say that name for me. Ewell Netter.
Dr. Ewell Netter.
Shout out to Ewell Netter.
Connect with him ASAP, bro. I definitely got to get y'all together ASAP.
Yes, indeed. Shout out. Look, Mama Cassandra in the building. I see you. Shout out Big Brother Josh, always in the building. Like I said, we got to get Josh in here, man. We got to get Big Brother Josh in the building.
Man, Josh is, bro, all the way. The way. One of my number one supporters. Number one.
Josh, this is my plea. We need to hear what you got to say, my brother. We need you.
To be mind blown.
Hey, Josh, I'm calling you out right in front of my big brother. We need you on Mile in My Shoes to give us some words, man.
ASAP, surely.
Shout out Miguel, the homie. I see you in there. Shout out April. And big shout out to Shadana. She will be here on Saturday. And guess who's coming Sunday?
Who?
Stacey Austin.
Come on.
I'm excited, man.
They're about to slay you with that singing. That woman throw down, man. That woman
Corey,
can sing.
Sister Shadana, Pastor Shadana, and then Lady Stacey Austin.
Come on.
Y'all get ready, man. You done started off a great week, and
That's
I
what it's
know
all about.
the weekend gonna come in strong, man. So y'all stay tuned. We got Pastor Shadonna and then Lady Stacy Austin in the building on Sunday, man. Look, I love you, my brother.
I love you too, and I want to give a shout out to my sister Cynthia, because that's my ace Boone Coon. My sister holds me down, so I definitely gotta show love to my sister. I appreciate her big time.
Also, before we go, y'all, these are the handles. Look, I appreciate all the seeds that my brother sowed into us. If you would like to donate to all that he does, or you just like to be a blessing to him, it's Cash App $ Spoken Red. Look, it's a plea from me, y'all. Bless that man, man. That's good ground. Believe that. I ain't doing no sow, no seed, no nothing. Bless that man. If he was blessed by anything he said, bless him, man. I'm serious. That is good ground. This man gives and gives and gives and gives and gives and gives, man. If you have it in you, bless him, man. I love y'all. We going out with a song. Drop hearts till your thumbs get high, man. Brrr, let me see him, man. We gonna jam on the way out, man. Here we go. I'm going to the song.
And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, but the tears won't turn off. No, he hears your heart's cry. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better by and by.
And to my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing pictures on your Facebook page. God giving power to uplift a man, to make a slave, speak life into our dreams, or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know y'all position, cause you're vital to the family structure. No replacing any mother. Careful how you treating love. Elegant, heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define. Shape or mold you, God's daughter, queen of nations. There's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent. Love injector, backbone, best gift ever. Worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Kick back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family
Even though this life is tough, said you gotta